I have been training for a 200-kilometer ultra bike ride, and today I'm taking on the challenge. But this isn't just any bike ride. Every hour I draw a random card that could either help me, curse me, or throw in a wild twist. Think of it as an adventure mixed with chaos. You'll see how the rules of the card game affect my journey. Now, let's get straight to the video. Good morning. Today I try to ride 200 kilometers on my bike. Let's draw the first card. Roll a dice. Every 5 minutes, roll 2 dice. You may only continue if you roll a double. This curse ends after 30 minutes. Yes, let's go. I had hoped to have a good card in order not to lose any time. This curse was not hard, but it definitely cost me some time. I had already been riding for 1 hour before drawing the first card, so I had already covered a distance of 20 kilometers. I left home at around 6 o'clock. I decided not to include the first hour in the video because it was still too dark to film. Oh yes, let's go, first try. That's nice, I take that. I did not expect to roll a double first try. At that point I only had to roll one more double. I was very glad about that. First curse is cleared. Now I have half an hour until the next drawing. After covering 75 kilometers in the first episode of this series, I was very excited to see if I could manage 200 kilometers. I was surprised at how well I was feeling. I only slept 5 hours because I had to get up at 5 AM and went to bed at midnight. The good thing is that you hardly feel tired while exercising, so I didn't have to worry about my lack of sleep too much. Soon it was time to draw another card. I'm now 2 hours in, so let's draw another card. Influencer mode. For the next hour, take a selfie every 5 minutes. Okay, so it's time to take some selfies. As the sun was behind me and the selfie camera on my phone is not that good, the quality of the images is not amazing. Halfway through the curse I passed the 50-kilometer mark, which was a nice achievement. I was amazed at how quickly the time passed. Another curse complete, now it's time to eat something. I'm now more than 3 hours in, so let's draw another card. Stand up. For the next 10 minutes, you may not sit down or take a break. So, no sitting for the next 10 minutes, let's do it. I was very glad to draw this curse at the beginning of the day. It's much easier if your legs are not exhausted already. I was also glad that I was in a relatively flat area. In an uphill section, this curse would have been much harder as well. The good thing is that I was not allowed to sit down for only 10 minutes. It didn't take long until the curse was over. Another curse complete. This one was actually quite hard for the legs. I'm glad it's over. I was always very happy when it didn't take long to complete the curse. That meant I had a lot of time until the next drawing. I bought a new phone case from Quadlock to be able to attach my phone directly to the stem. I was very happy with my new setup. Soon after I made it to the first lake called Sempa Jose. It was a bit sad that I couldn't see much of it. Wow, that's really beautiful, and I'm also quite lucky with the weather. This was the only time I was close to the water. It was already time to leave the lake again. At the beginning of the day it had been a bit cloudy. I was very happy that the sun came through. Slowly but surely it was getting warmer. With a temperature of around 20 degrees, the conditions were perfect. So I'm now at more than 4 hours, 80 kilometers. I'm quite happy with the pace. I hope I can keep it up. And now let's draw another card. Balancing act. Stay still and balance your bike for at least 20 seconds. You may not move on before clearing this course. After failing 5 times, I was really hoping to finally stay still for more than 20 seconds. At the beginning I clicked into the pedals, but after almost falling I decided not to do so anymore. It was safer but made balancing even more difficult. I was very happy that I finally cleared the course. I managed to balance my bike for 26 seconds. Oh, made it, let's go. Another course cleared, let's continue. At that point, the climb to the highest point of the tour awaited me. The climb was approximately 150 meters in altitude. On a normal tour I would laugh about that, but when doing 200 kilometers it's actually quite exhausting. I had already burned more than 2000 calories. It's insane how much energy you need. Sooner than I expected, I made it to the top of the hill and it was already time for the next drawing. I'm now 5 hours in. I just made it to the highest point. That's really awesome. Now let's draw another card. Gear malfunction. Ride the next 15 minutes in single gear. You decide which one. Since a downhill section awaited me, I decided to use this gear. Before doing the course, I ate a chicken sandwich and of course some unhealthy stuff to regain some of the calories I had burned. So I feel really energized after the break. I'm now exactly at 100 kilometers, but it's already 1:30, so now I need to hurry a bit. It's crazy that I had 5 courses in a row. After the lunch break it was time to start the course. I was lucky that I was riding downhill. It was very easy, so I don't really have anything interesting to show you. I was glad I hadn't lost much time with the course, because in just over 6 hours it would be getting dark, so I knew it was going to be tight. So the 15 minutes are over. Course completed. It's really nice to finally have some downhill. This section is not fun. Slowly but surely my ass starts to hurt and also my knee, which is not good, but my muscles are still okay. Now let's draw another card. Draw a new card. Draw a new card. Play this card whenever you want. Finally a good card, that's really awesome. My motivation hasn't been that low so far. I was happy that I didn't have to do a course. However, my motivation was quite low because I was in an area with a lot of traffic. From Langenthal to Sur is almost 40 kilometers and by far the ugliest part of the tour. Unfortunately, I have little footage from the ugly parts, but believe me, it's true. By the way, just to show you how small Switzerland is, on this tour I visited 4 out of 26 cantons: Zurich, Aargau, Lucerne and Bern. Finally a few meters away from the traffic, but unfortunately not for that long. It was awesome to be away from the street. At that point I covered about 130 kilometers and it was getting exhausting. I was already 7 hours in. I drew a card that allows me to discard a curse. After all these curses, I was surprised to draw 2 advantages in a row. As if that wasn't good enough, I was about to reach a major milestone. 150 kilometers. Now I'm basically on the home straight. That's really amazing. Having completed more than 75%, I knew it was not far anymore. It was already time to draw another card. Wildcard made me draw another 2 cards. I had to decide between No Hands Allowed and Balancing Act. I chose No Hands Allowed, which requires me not to use my hands for 1 minute. I know that I had the card Balancing Act already, somehow I made a mistake. Since there was a very steep downhill, I had to wait with the curse. So, let's do it now. So, 1 minute complete. Since it's quite flat here, it was very easy. I'm so glad that I'm not in an urban area anymore. This is much better. The contrast to the previous section was huge. The landscape was absolutely amazing, especially as the sun was still shining. After almost 2 hours of low motivation, I suddenly felt much better again. It wasn't long before I had to drive on the road again, but at least I had an amazing view of the lake called Hallwilersee. So, I'm now 9 hours in, 30 kilometers to go. Let's draw another card. Skip 1 drawing. Allows you to skip 1 drawing, you decide which one. Okay, so now my deck is full, that's what I like. My deck was actually already full, so I could not keep the card. Considering that I was really exhausted at that point, I was very glad to have a full card deck. I knew that there was only 1 more drawing and I would have the possibility to discard a curse. That feeling of safety gave me a lot of motivation for the last 30 kilometers. I had to keep up my previous pace, which was not easy after I had cycled for 170 kilometers already. I'm now more than 10 hours in, 187 kilometers. So I broke my old record of 184, I think. Yeah, my feet and my ass hurt terribly and I'm so exhausted. I think if I pushed right now, I would puke for sure. So I have to take it a bit easy. And yeah, let's draw the last card now. Back to the roots. For the next 30 minutes, you may not use any maps. You are allowed to use a compass. Okay, so I mean I could discard it, but I know the route from now on, so it doesn't matter anymore. I would say let's do 1 last time lapse to the finish. Yes, I made it. Let's go. 200 kilometers complete. That's so amazing. It was an awesome day, but I'm also really glad that it's over now. Consider to subscribe if you like this video, and as always, thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.